Hey guys, it's Miss Miller. I hope that you are all behaving. I'm looking at some of you right now. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Just messing with you guys. So we're going to go over perimeter since I'm not here today, so you're just going to watch this video as well as listen to the substitute teacher kind of go over some things. I know that she hopefully went over what perimeter is. I'm just going to review that information. So you should know that perimeter is the distance around the outside of a shape. Now this could really be for any shape. For third grade purposes, we're pretty much going to only talk about squares and rectangles and things that have straight sides. But it really could be any shape that you can think of. The way I like to remember perimeter is if you look inside perimeter, there's that word rim. Rim would be like the outside of something, like the rim of a basketball hoop. So that's how I remember perimeter is talking about the outside because of that hidden word in there of rim. Remember, just like how I normally teach, if I'm writing something, it needs to be written down in your notebook as well. All of this should be written down, but if you want to highlight rim, that would be helpful. Alright, you should already have this piece of paper glued in your math notebook. This is the one that we're going to be working with today. So, looks like a word problem. First step in our word problem is always going to be the same, which is to read it. It says, Mary is making a poster for her lost dog. The poster board is 4 feet by 3 feet. She plans to put a bright green ribbon around the edge of her poster. How much ribbon does she need to buy? I want you to pause the video right here, and I want you to reread that question, and I want you to come up with an answer sentence and write it in the space below. Alright, so you can hit resume and you can compare your answer sentence to the answer sentence that I came up with, which is, she needs to buy blank. I'm measuring, because remember my unit is not just blank ribbon. I'm looking at what unit I'm using, and she is using feet. So it's going to be feet. If you want to write out the word feet, you can, or you can shorthand it, of ribbon. If you don't have that, go ahead and pause the video and fix your answer sentence so it's something similar. If you've got it already, then you are good to go to continue listening. Remember, when we're doing a area problem or perimeter problem, we're not going to have a bar model, because a bar model is going to be helpful when we're counting things, but when we're counting distance in feet or inches, it's going to be easier if we just have a model of some sort, as opposed to a bar model where I can put groups of into different things. So I'm reading what kind of poster board she has, and it's a 4 feet by 3 feet, and there's an example to the right up there, and it looks like it's just going to be a rectangle. So in my notes, I'm going to draw a rectangle, and here is my poster board. I'm going to go ahead and record the dimensions. So she told me it was a 3 foot by 4 foot poster board. We know that she's trying to put ribbon along the outside. So we're putting ribbon here, 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 and here. And I imagine she's doing that because she's lost her dog. She wants to have something shiny so that people stop and read. And it specifically says around the edge. Around the edge to me reminds me of rim. And if I'm trying to figure out the rim, then I need to be looking at the perimeter. I need to figure out the distance around this shape. So to do that, I simply add up all the distance of each length around my shape. So I'm going to change my pencil just so you can see it a little bit better. So I'm going to start here. This side I already know is 3 feet, so I'm going to write that down. I'm going to add that to this side, which is 4 feet. Now those are the only two dimensions I have written, but are those the only two sides of my poster? No, they're not. I have this side and this side. Look at your dimensions you've drawn so far and see if you can figure out what the dimensions are supposed to be. So I know the rules of a rectangle, and it says that the opposite sides are the same length, which means if I know the length of this side, that's going to be the exact same length as this side. So this dimension is 3. Same rule applies to my top. I know this side length is 4. This side length is also 4. If this was a square, I would know all sides were equal, and I could do it that way. But it is a rectangle, so we have to go with opposite sides. So now I'm going to finish. I've done 3. I've done 4. I need to add another 3 foot. And then I need to add another 4 foot. That's going to equal P. Remember, P is just a spot saver. It could be box. It could be triangle. It really could be anything. I put a P there to remind me that I'm solving for perimeter. It starts with P, but you can put whatever you would like. Alright, so now I'm going to add up. However you want to add up is fine. I don't see any easy make a tens, so I'm just going to double. 3 plus 4 is 7. Plus my other side is 7. My perimeter. From there, I just double my 7s. Which gets me to 14. So my perimeter is 14. Then I can use that information to figure out how much ribbon she needs to buy, because I'm using my ribbon around my poster. That's the perimeter. She needs to buy 14 feet of ribbon. To prove to me that you listened all the way through the end of this video, you didn't just skip ahead, if you could please put a little Mickey Mouse symbol right near the My Dog poster title at the top. To do that, you just draw a big circle with 2 smaller circles for ears. That way when I check this later, I will be able to see who listened to the video and who did not. Don't tell anybody, because if they didn't listen, then they don't have a Mickey Mouse. But if you are one of the friends who are listening all the way through, go ahead and do that, and don't tell my secret. And that is our perimeter. So I hope between this lesson and what the sub showed you on the document camera, you start to see what perimeter is, and it's kind of similar to what we already know with area, but a little bit different because now we're going around instead of inside. Alright, I will meet up with you guys again tomorrow, and we'll talk a little bit more about perimeter. If you have questions while you're doing this, either while the sub is teaching or while I'm teaching you via video, go ahead and write them down just in your notebook so you don't forget, and we can answer them next week when I see you. Okay, bye!